So now that we have our 0 set where we want it, we can go back into carbide motion, and from the jog page, go back to run, load file, find our training test cut that we originally designed, open, and now you can see the stock size that you set, the height that you set, approximate cutting time, the tool that you want to make sure you installed correctly, and now you can just see top view, you can see its cutting path, front view so you can see depths, ISO view, and then the G-code information. You press done. So now our file is in here. And now, so just to go back to Carbide Create, just to see our stock and our design. So our stock is much longer than our design. When we went into Carbide Motion, it only told us the size of our stock, but not necessarily how much of our design that we need. So we're cutting out from this rectangle. So from our origin point here in the bottom left corner of our stock, we probably only need 11 inches in the X and 6 inches in the Y. So now we're going to make sure that we have that and it's unobstructed on our actual test piece. So from run, we'll go back to jog and we'll move the X. As you can see here, we're currently zeroed at 0, 0. So we'll make sure that we can get 11 in the X. So there's 11, good. Our part still fits on there. And now 6 in the Y. And we're still on our stock. And we paid attention that we're not gonna hit our work holding. That's another big thing. And now we don't have to move it back to 0 because the machine automatically knows it's 11 in the X, 6 in the Y, and 0.4 inches in the Z away from its 0 location. So now we would go back to run, and our file's in here. Okay, so now starts the actual turning on machine part. Actually, just kidding. We'll go on to jog, and we'll bring the Z up. That way, we'll have room to install our dust collection cover. So this has a little latch here, so it goes over like this, pretty snug. There we go. Goes over like this, and then you just push the latch back, and now it's locked. And now what we would do safety-wise is we'll take our vacuum and connect it into here for when we're ready to go. And just general woodroom safety, make sure you have your safety glasses on, hair tied back, long sleeves rolled up, and then we would also turn on our ventilation system. So now we'll go back over to the computer and we'll press start job. And we'll make sure that our vacuum's on, and ventilation system's on. So then we would press start. And now you can see it tells you what tool you specified in your actual cam design. So it says tool change required. Make sure that you have the number 201 1/4" end mill installed, which it is. So you would press resume. Spindle RPM change required. So now you have to set the actual spindle speed and turn the actual CNC on. So it'll tell you set the speed to 18,000 RPM, which in our case is dial setting 3. So now we would go over to the actual CNC router, and so here's the different dial settings. There's a little arrow there to show you what setting you're on, and we would make sure that we're on 3, and then turn our spindle on. And now that our spindle's on, we would press resume, and it'll start cutting.